left.
The patient has already died. What type of reconciliation could be done in such a case?
If a patient comes, if I don't admit, again there is a negligence.
Basic treatment for 7 days so that the
No,
person
15 days, my lord. 15 days.
15 days. Not the finding.
This channel does not promote any violent, harmful, or illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant for an educational purpose only.
I'm sorry. I see your lordship's order. Your lordship has indicated what is the matter about and
yes. Refund of 50% of the payment made.
There is no finding.
Conclusive finding that there is any deficiency in service. All right.
Of that, court
Director. Which page is it?
Can you see the order view?
Is the complainant present?
From page 48.
Is the complainant present?
Yes, my lord, I am present.
What is your submission?
My lord, there is negligence, my lord, on the
There
part
is
of the
negligence.
patient.
But has the authority come
Yes,
to
my lord,
conclude
kindly
the
comes to the
commission?
order first. Page,
What page is the order?
order starts from page 48, my lord. Kindly comes to page 51. I'm just showing the points so it has been noted. Kindly comes to my lord, page 51. Second paragraph. The patient attended KPCMCH on 23rd of March. The sixth line, admission sheet serial number 13, intimation to consulted points are blank, suggesting that senior doctor was not consulted on the day of admission. This is one of the deficiency on their part. Now, my lord, kindly comes to the observation of the commission. That is, my lord, will find at page 54. The first bullet. The surgery of ERCP-induced duodenal perforation is a very difficult and has to be done in an advanced gastrosurgery setup with very experienced surgeon. KPCMCH does not have an advanced gastrosurgery unit, and decision to refer this patient to KPCMCH was not a rational decision. They did not have
This is by the other hospital possibly?
Yes, and they agreed to admit the patient in the first place.
KPC.
Yes, they agreed to. They did not have a proper gastro setup. Despite that, they agreed to admit the patient. They admitted the patient, kept her for around 2 weeks, raised a bill of 7 lakhs, left the patient. The patient died immediately on the day after she was released. And now the reason why the commission directed 50% of the treatment cost, my lord, kindly comes to page number 55 once. The last paragraph. In course of hearing, we also felt KPC should also reconsider the issue as to whether they would refund substantial part of the treatment cost in view of the observations of our esteemed members and have in course of hearing. Mr. Karmakar representing KPC was candid enough to agree to have reconciliation on such issue. They agreed to that in the first place. They failed to come to any solution. That is the reason the commission ordered, sir. When it comes to the next paragraph, while judgment has been under preparation, the commission has received a mail dated November 2nd, 2023 from KPC informing that despite best efforts, they could not resolve the issue. In such event, we deduct 50% of the total cost. This is basically the reason, the negligence on the part of the KPC is, the petitioner is, they admitted the patient despite the fact that they did not have the proper gastro setup. That is also one of the points they noted. Moreover, they say on the second last paragraph, the last line, they send the case to KPC where there is no proper gastro setup. They have sent the patient to KPC, that is good enough. They accepted the patient despite not having proper gastro setup. That is what the negligence lies, my lord. And during hearing, they agreed to reconcile on that issue, but they did not come to a conclusion.
Consent that yes, I will reconcile.
Means I will try to resolve the issue.
Yes, they failed, and that is the reason they directed. And
consensus could not be arrived at.
The consensus with regard to the quantum.
Yes.
Be refunded.
That is the
in course of hearing.
What the patient has died, there is nothing more to reconcile.
A substantial part of the treatment cost that is clearly there.
Left.
The patient has already died.
Right. My lord,
what type of reconciliation could be done in such a case?
My lord, it's clearly written. My lord, kindly comes to the paragraph once, page 55, last paragraph. Would refund substantial part of the treatment cost.
Why? I'm asking the question to myself. Because the authority has also not come to a definite conclusion that there is negligence on their part.
That is,
If you do not have a setup and you admit a patient,
I have to. If a patient comes, my lord, if I don't admit, again there is a negligence.
no.
you admit and you release, that is okay. You trace the
Who
patient for
says
around 2
it
weeks.
is not possible. I do not have the setup. You
Yes.
Admit and treat basic treatment. I could not understand.
basic treatment for 7 days so that the
No,
parts are done.
15 days, my lord. 15 days.
15 that is not the finding.
No, fact says.
You add,
Kindly come to that. The less,
No,
less-
compensation is different.
yes.
that is the compensation.
Compensation is
It
different.
Compensation that includes the charge as
You
we
admit
see.
the patient, you treat her for a few days and you leave her. That is understandable. You for 2 weeks you can't just admit it saying that I'm just treating the patient when you
If
don't
this
have
is
the
just
proper
always
gastro setup.
studies being given out to the patients, then so many more cases will come up. Either you improve your setup so that all type of patients can be admitted and given proper treatment.
No
Otherwise,
hospital, no hospital can say I am fully equipped.
If the patient would have alive, my lord, I would have understood. She died the very next day.
15 days you keep a patient, and this is what the doctors say.
But this is-
The
I repeat, my lord, kindly see any finding against me.
yes,
These are
there
the
is
findings.
finding.
There are a lot of
Enough
findings. my lord.
finding
That is
to
up to my lord.
yes, because
There is no finding against me.
please come. If you in
I
opposition,
cannot think, my lord, this is not the case that we have overcharged.
The question is
That
negligence,
is-
my lord. The question is negligence.
that is different. That is different. Overcharging is different. It's a different issue. কি বললাম? Filed by the না এটা কি হ্যাঁ না এটা অপোজিশন না রিপ্লাই এফিডেভিট বলে ছেড়ে দিয়েছে পিটিশনার দিয়েছে তো রিপ্লাই হবে এফিডেভিট বাই দি whose document is this?
Our-
দেবজ্যোতি ভট্টাচার্য?
My lord directed me to file an affidavit.
Yes, it's a
Charges.
hospital. আচ্ছা তাহলে the affidavit filed by the hospital.
My lord, ask for the charges which was.
All right. Is taken on record. Stop. The petitioner is aggrieved by the direction passed by the West Bengal Clinical Establishment Regulatory Commission to refund 50% of the treatment cost to the next of kin of the deceased patient. Stop. According to the petitioner, there is no finding of negligence and the commission ought not to have directed refund. Stop. On a perusal of the impugned judgment, it appears that the commission has recorded that the patient attended the hospital on 23rd March 23 at 8:16 p.m. And the initial clinical impression was of severe acute pancreatitis and duodenal perforation with AKI was made. Stop. The patient was admitted and a number of investigations were made. The attendance sheet, serial number 13.
Admission sheet, my lord.
Admission slip, attendance, admission sheet, serial number 13. The consultation points were kept blank. suggesting that the senior doctor was not consulted on the day of admission.
This is, my lord, the opinion of one of the experts, one of the members.
My lord is dictating the order. Why are you?
The observation recorded in the impugned judgment mentions that the surgery for ERCP induced duodenal perforation is a very difficult one and has to be done in an advanced gastrosurgery setup with very experienced surgeon. Stop. The hospital does not have an advanced gastrosurgery unit. The doctors have opined that the outcome of the treatment may have been different had the patient been referred to a better center. The case was also decided to be referred to the West Bengal Medical Council to assess whether correct line of treatment was followed on the patient. Stop. The members on the panel of the commission were of the opinion that there had been a bile duct injury at the time of doing the procedure at the earlier hospital where the patient was taken. Stop. The earlier hospital could not identify the problem and made the situation more complex. Stop. Even after laparotomy at the hospital, the problem could not be taken care of. The medical members were of the opinion that it was a case of post-surgical complication that could not be effectively taken care of. The exact reason for the death of the patient was, however, not identified, and it was observed that an investigation by a body of experts was required to be done. The doctors of the team expressed strong displeasure in how the patient was treated. Paragraph. At the time of hearing, the commission gave one opportunity to the hospital to reconsider the issue as to whether a part of the treatment cost, whether substantial part of the treatment cost could be refunded. to which the representative of the hospital agreed. Stop. A conciliation was sought to be made, but the same failed. Stop. Under such circumstances, the commission directed the hospital to refund 50% of the total cost, amounting to rupees 3,43,706 to the next of kin of the deceased patient. Stop. The commission also held that refund of the amount would not debar the patient family to seek appropriate compensation for medical negligence, if any, established before the appropriate authority. Liberty was also granted to the complainant to approach the commission afresh in case they succeed before the West Bengal Medical Council. Clear indication by the member of the commission is that the hospital did not have proper gastro setup. Stop. Paragraph. Learned senior counsel representing the petitioner asserts that had the patient not been admitted and treatment not provided, and treatment emergency treatment not provided, the same would have led to negligence. Stop. Paragraph. In the instant case, it appears that the hospital admitted the patient and treated and provided treatment for 2 weeks. Stop. According to the doctors, the patient ought to have been provided treatment from a hospital with a better gastro setup. Stop. The doctors are the competent person to assess whether the hospital has a proper gastro setup or not. Stop. The hospitals have opined, the doctors have opined.
There is no finding of the doctors in the report.
Yes, there is.
How they have arrived at that conclusion? That is not there.
Achha. The
doctors have opined
that the hospital does not have a proper gastro setup. Stop. Though it has been contended that the doctors, that the judgment does not reflect as to how the doctors opined that the hospital does not have a gastro setup. Stop. The paragraph. Admittedly, the patient was treated for nearly a fortnight, and the specialized doctors opine that the fate of the procedure could have been different had treatment been provided in a hospital with better setup, and it is a case of post-surgical complication which could have been taken care of effectively had the proper gastro setup been there. Stop. Paragraph. The court is not inclined to interfere with the impugned judgment. The writ petition fails and is hereby dismissed.
Grateful, my lord.
Next.